It is at the top of the hour, officially the second Sunday Express show here for the year 2026. Your captain, yours truly, Regina Manyara. We are going to be informing you on what has been making headlines in the last 12 hours or so, and also have a candid conversation in regard to transition when it comes to education. We're already having grade 10 getting into school. In the 844 system, this would have been the Form 1s. Do we have the requisite capacity to take on this particular transition? That and so much more coming up on Sunday Express. But first things first, the highlights.
Kuna watu wanafikiria ya kwamba wanaweza kulete siasa ndogo ndogo, kelele ati waharibu ile msingi tumejenga. Hiyo haiwezekani. Watafute kazi nyingine ya kufanya.
Don't play me at your risk. President Ruto cautions his detractors against thinking that he has lost favor within Mount Kenya. Owalo for president. Deputy Chief of Staff throws his heart into the 2027 presidential contest. And the rising Kenya star. Kenya's tennis star Angela Okutoi clinches the ITF World Tennis W35 Round 2 singles title. Good evening, I'm Regina Manyara, and my colleague on sign language is none other than Byron Abuli. This is Sunday Express. Now, President William Ruto has warned his political detractors that his support in Mount Kenya is still intact. The president, who is on a development tour of Manyara County, said his political rivals have no substantial agenda to present to the people. Less than 2 years to the general election. Give us one minor, now reports.
Welcome, Your Excellency.
After several months away, President William Ruto on Sunday returned to Manyara County, this time round for a charm offensive. The President and Deputy President Kithure Kindiki attended at Sunday service at ACK St. Paul's Church, Kariki in Othaya constituency. When he took to the podium, the president said his administration had worked to raise earnings on tea, coffee and milk for the farmers in the region and the country at large.
Pia tumekubaliana na huyu waziri ya kwamba kwa sababu Kenya ni watu wa bidii, tuko na kahawa, tuko na chai, tuko na avocado, tuko na mazao mengine ambayo tunauza nje ya Kenya. Ni vizuri tutengeneze soko. Waziri na mwenzake Liki Nyanjui sasa wanamalizia mkataba ya kufungua soko kubwa ya China.
Accompanying the president, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe urged the Mount Kenya region to re-elect President Ruto in 2027 to ensure continuity of the development projects.
Hapa, Your Excellency, we have a small problem as I call it. Hapa mtu anashaguliwa one term. Nimewasihi watu wetu tuanze kuangalia hata viongozi wale tuko nao, hata MCAs, sio tu MPs, even MCAs. Tunaangalia wale ambao wanafanyia watu kazi, tunawarudisha kazi. We will develop Kenya because we will vote for a president and we will vote again for the same president and vote again.
The Kenya Kwanza allies are also challenging the Nyeri governor to declare his stance on the 2027 elections.
Nataka tuobee governor wetu. Kwa sababu governor wewe ndio unatuongoza, huwezi kuwa pande hii na pande hii unakuwa watermelon. Wacha tukue na msimamo ndio Nyeri yetu iendelee.
Mimi nilimpigia kura akawa rais, na nyinyi mimi sijasikia rais mwingine. Kwa hivyo mimi bado niko na rais. Unaelewa? Na kama governor ni lazima nije nipokee rais, tuongee mambo ya serikali na tuko kazi. Siasa ikifika Mimi watu wa Nyeri wakiona sijafikisha miaka ya kwenda nyumbani wataniambia.
The head of state would later address Othaya residents during a stopover where he said his ties with the mountain are intact.
Sasa sikizeni, unajua kuna watu wengine wanaota ndoto ya mchana. Ati wanafikiria ati watalete makelele, walete fitina, wafanye vitimbi, ati mimi nikosani na watu wa Nyeri. Hiyo ni ndoto ya mchana. Hiyo haiwezekani. Urafiki mimi nimejenga na watu wa Nyeri ni urafiki ambayo tumejenga kutoka mbali.
Siasa sio kelele, siasa sio matusi, siasa sio kiburi, siasa na uongozi ni kazi.
President Ruto said the opposition figures have no agenda but empty political rhetoric.
Si mnajua Rais Mwai Kibaki alinifanya waziri wa kilimo? Ama namna gani? Si ndio? Na hiyo kazi ya kilimo nilifanya ama sikufanya? Si nilifanya? Ama namna gani? Sasa hawa watu nitamalizana na wao asubuhi na mapema. These ones.
The president is in Nyeri County for a 3-day walking tour.
President William Ruto has slammed his critics, especially from the Mount Kenya region, saying no one will come between him and the people of this region ahead of the 2027 general elections. Give us in Manyara, Sunday Express in Othaya, Nyeri County.
Still on matters politics, a deputy chief of staff in charge of delivery and government efficiency, Eliud Owalo, has declared his intention to vie for the presidency come 2027. Owalo said he has enough experience as a political strategist to almost, get ahead or more than any other presidential candidate in the past, a situation that puts him in the right stead to lead the nation. He spoke as he joined Nominya congregants in Oboch, Siaya County, to commemorate the 106 years of the existence of the church. Achala Simon now reports.
Eliud Owalo is the latest politician to show interest in gunning for the country's top seat in 2027.
Limited to Nominya Church, which is my church of birth, a church which was started by my grandfather. I've today made a deliberate and conscious decision that cometh the year 2027, I'll be submitting myself as a candidate for purposes of the presidential race in the elections for purposes of the presidency of the Republic of Kenya.
Owalo, currently serving as the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of delivery and government efficiency in the Executive Office of the President, said it was time he put his immense experience as a think tank behind many presidential campaigns into his own bid.
I've worked for each and every politician worth his salt in this country, and I've done my bit. But come 2027, I want to change the paradigm. I will not continue working for political individuals, but I want to work for the Kenyan people, the Kenyan masses.
The 58-year-old former ICT Cabinet Secretary will launch his political party in the coming weeks as he seeks to become the 6th president of the country. He, however, wants Nyanza region to be more accommodative to more political parties as it will enhance election of leaders based on their track records.
We cannot be in a multi-party era. Then we continue subjecting the people of Nyanza to a political monolithic, where one political party has got monopoly power and is lording it over everyone else.
His bid is likely to be centered on development and actualizing of 10 major projects in Nyanza region. The projects include Koru Soin Dam, extension of the SGR from Naivasha to Malaba, and dualling of Rironi-Londiani Highway to Busia via Eldoret and Kisumu.
The next project I've talked about is the revival of the sugar industry so that our sugar factories can again attain optimal capacity utilization levels, with the attendant benefits accruing to sugarcane farmers to sort out some of the myriad challenges the people are facing. And in the same regard again, the revitalization of the rice sector and also the cotton industry. Cotton needs to be a major cash crop in this region.
Owalo spoke as he joined Nominya congregants in celebrations of 106 years of existence of the church. The church has a membership of over 2 million faithfuls. Achola Simon, Sunday Express, Kisumu County.
So while that was happening in Siaya, the Jubilee Party Deputy Leader Fred Matiang'i has called upon the government to utilize educationists and religious leaders to solve the confusion in the education sector experienced during the placement of students joining senior schools. Meanwhile, DCP Party Leader Rigathi Gachagua is accusing the Kenya Kwanza administration of continuously using police to harass and intimidate him.
Speaking during the commissioning service for more than 130 PCMF members in PCEA Mugoga Church, the Jubilee Party Brigade implored the Ministry of Education to reach out to educationists in solving the confusion surrounding the placement of students joining senior schools.
Sasa muite hawa wote wasee wa kanisa, viongozi, professional leaders kwa room. Wengine wawaeleze the pain and the challenges that the parents are facing. Can we solve this chaos that you have created in the education sector?
Timu ambayo mnaona ya Fred Matiang'i haina vita. Sisi tukiona vita tutaondokea.
Separately, DCP Party Leader Rigathi Gachagua, while attending a church service at AIPCA, Kiamoria in Gatondo South constituency, decried continued misuse of police officers to intimidate members of the opposition.
Na mimi nataka nikuulize William Ruto, wewe siku mlikosana na Uhuru Kenyatta for 5 years, alikubalia wewe kutembea hapa mlimani, si ndio? Alimzuia. Mbona wewe unatuzuia kutembea nyumbani kwetu?
Gachagua also defended former President Uhuru Kenyatta from accusations by a section of ODM leaders and demanded that the fourth president must be respected.
Na mimi niambie hiyo watu ya ODM, msitumiwe na Ruto kutukana Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta alijaribu kusaidia nyinyi, kusaidia baba apate uongozi. Alimsaidia hapa mlimani na 1.3 million votes. Nyinyi wenyewe mkakosa kwenda kupiga kura, mkaanguka.
Elsewhere in Tharaka Nithi County, Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Roko, while attending a church service at PCEA Chogoria Town Church, urged residents of Mount Kenya East Region to remain united behind President William Ruto for sustainable development.
Mimi nawaomba, kama kuna mahali ambao we cannot afford to define our forts, ni mahali naitwa Meru County, Isiolo County, Tharaka Nithi County, Embu County, and Kirinyaga County.
And a political supremacy battle is looming in Kirinyaga County between County Governor Anne Waiguru and dear MP George Kariuki over who should lead the UDA party in Kirinyaga.
Watu wengine wakati tulikuwa tunafanyia Dr. William Samoei Ruto campaign ya 2022, wao walikuwa busy wakituambia vile hatuwezi, Wakikuyu hawezi kondishwa ama wanunuliwe.
Kama ni mwanamme ajitokeze, avae t-shirt yetu ya UDA, asimame kiti ya governor, achaguliwe Kirinyaga.
The UDA grassroots elections formed the basis for the local contest between the two leaders, with Governor Waiguru and Kirinyaga Central MP Gashoki Gitare on one side and dear MP George Kariuki, Moya MP Mary Mainge and Gishogo MP Gishimu Gethenji on the other. And in Meru County, Igembe North MP Julius Taitumu has called for a repeat of UDA grassroots elections in some areas of Meru County due to challenges faced during the voting process.
Ni lazima maeneo ambayo yatakuwa na matatizo yarudiwe, kwa sababu naona itakubalika kuwa na watu ambao hawajulikani wametoka wapi.
Gishoki Washira, Sunday Express.
Well, away from matters politics, we'll be coming back and looking at what is happening in the education sector, being that tonight we're going to be talking about transition. We're having grade 10s there transiting, but we have the requisite capacity given the career options that we have that are already over 500. Does the human resource in our learning institutions have that capacity? That's the conversation tonight on Sunday Express.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good Morning Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Hizi kofia za Harpin zinasaidia sana.
Ndio, na unajua hawa madaktari wa China wanazingatia sana kazi zao.
Let's try taking him off, but observe him for 2 hours, and if everything's fine, we can extubate.
Daktari, asante.
You're welcome.
Welcome back. This is Sunday Express. I'm Regina Manyara. Now, before we get into our conversation this evening all about matters education, more than 1 million learners will begin their senior school journey on Monday amid calls to the government to grant the request of hundreds of thousands of students seeking the review of their placements. The Elimu Bora Working Group says the decision to deny the request is a false start to the next phase of the competency-based education.
Approximately 1.13 million curriculum-based education pioneer learners will be reporting to senior school starting tomorrow, Monday 12th. But some face a risk of missing their slots due to a systematic failure on the online placement system after being placed on the wrong pathways or distant day schools.
We do not seem to have prepared adequately for this transition, and there's a lot of confusion that is coming out as a result.
355,457 students applying for review of their placements by December 2025. Sadly, 143,821 students had their appeals rejected for various reasons, including overcrowding in some of the so-called elite schools, public schools.
Addressing the media on Sunday, the Elimu Bora Working Group disclosed that the placement breakdown is not the only challenge, as some learners have their KGCE academic transcripts withheld by their former schools over outstanding arrears.
Some schools, senior schools, have requested that they go with the stamped transcripts, and we see a number of these students being forced to either clear outstanding arrears in terms of illegal fees and all manner of requirements from their former schools.
There are some who even lost books which somehow they got misplaced, and as we speak they are not able to be cleared.
Huu mfumo ulipokuwa hauwezi kufanya kazi, wizara iliagiza walimu wazazi waweze kwenda kutafuta shule katika the respective schools, which has exposed parents to a lot of corruption.
The lobby group alleged that the system was rushed, with some senior schools lacking essential infrastructure.
A comprehensive audit of its automated placement process and system to guarantee transparency and incorporate greater flexibility for learners' choice and welfare. 5. Prioritize and publicly track the rapid construction and equipping of STEM labs, sport facilities, workshops, and other essential infrastructure for schools in rural areas and those that fall under Cluster 3 and 4.
They have urged the government to address the grade 10 placement challenges and ensure no student is left behind.
It's all systems go. This is one of the classrooms that is expected to host the first cohort of the grade 10 learners. Yet 200 of learners are still uncertain if their dream to join their dream senior school will come to a reality. Reporting for Sunday Express, my name is Kasichana Masha.
And that report by Kasichana Masha sets the conversation, or rather the tone of the conversation we're having here tonight on Sunday Express. You're going to be looking at grade 10 transition and also challenges bedeviling the education sector now that we are in this space transition. I'm joined by none other than Livingstone Makori, who is a certified career analyst and life purpose coach. Thank you, sir, for making time.
Thank you very much for it.
We've heard from Kasichana Masha's report. There are various stakeholders pointing out issues that they think needs to be addressed urgently as we are looking towards mandates, just less than 12 hours away from us, from being realized right now. So from where you sit, what is the status report when it looks at transition in this new dispensation?
Thank you very much. I wish to take a positive approach to this issue because already the baby is born. We already have the system with us. What we can do as stakeholders is to see then what can work. Albeit I understand there are issues, challenges in terms of the system, placements, but I also must thank the Ministry of Education. They came back and said now parents can go in and request for schools, which is a good gesture. There are still challenges in the system of implementation. When you look at the KBC curriculum, competence-based curriculum, in line with our Vision 2030, we want to develop young people who have skills of the future. So this requires a lot of things, unlike the previous system. We have young people now in grade 10 who are specializing in what could be their future careers. So that requires a heavy level of specialization. Again, there's around lack of information around how the specialization are done, the subject selection. I can tell you there are 571 subject combinations. Yes. So that also brings the whole issue. But I can say with any transition, you expect to have hiccups. So what we need to look forward is what can we do going forward?
All right. Yeah. Now, you've broached quite the subject there when it comes to, the combinations. Those who went through 844 system, we call them the subject combinations that are going to, ensure the course you're going to take either in college or university. Now, we are learning something new, as you said.
Yeah.
There are those who find themselves in a position where they wanted to pursue probably STEM, but their requisite results for that exam do not allow them to undertake that.
Yes.
Then we all know what happens, with exams. The anxiety, there's so many other nuances that happen that do not necessarily depict your capacity.
Sure, sure.
How do we help, or how do you suggest that we help those students who feel that what has been picked for them is not what they want?
With due respect to STEM and any other specialization, I think we have oversold the issue of STEM.
All right.
STEM is a very important subject, but not everyone needs to do STEM. A news anchor like you doesn't need to do STEM.
Oh, okay. All right.
So STEM is science, mathematics, and engineering.
Yes.
So we have oversold that concept until everyone feels I have to be in STEM.
Yes.
Statistically, 60% of the learners need to be in STEM, in line with where we are moving.
Yeah.
But again, when you look at the jobs we have currently in the job market, what do they require? We have young people at TikTokers making money out of TikTok. Do they need mathematics? The answer is no.
Not just to calculate maybe their earnings and investments.
Yeah, they have an app can calculate that.
Yeah.
So what I could add here, the biggest issue for me as a career analyst where I sit is the issue of subject combination.
Subject combinations.
Are these teachers aware on how they guide these learners? Because unlike the 844 system, where if you do, for example, mathematics, physics, chemistry, and you have an A plane, you have an alley of options.
Actually, we used to say that was a pure science.
Pure science.
Yes.
You have an alley of options. You could do all courses except some few.
Yeah.
With this cohort, if you have gone to, for example, STEM, let's say social sciences, then there are options which you cannot pursue because you have not done those prerequisite subjects.
Yes.
So what to me is a big concern is, as these parents struggle to get a school, do they really understand the learning path they are choosing for their kids, where they lead them to.
That's a good question.
Yes.
And a majority of parents have also come out to say that they are also blind, or rather they are blind to where their children are going, and they're not getting the requisite support from these particular schools. So where you sit as a stakeholder, what recommendations would you give, especially to the Ministry of Education at this point? Because information is key.
Yeah.
And we're finding a majority do not have the requisite information.
The most important thing is career guidance. I know government has established the Office of Career Services in learning institutions.
Okay.
So then how do we equip this Office of Career Services?
Build capacity among them, yes.
Capacity building.
Yes.
So that even the teachers themselves are able to understand this and this career leads to this specialization. I've seen the Ministry of Education, if you go to the website, they have tried to show you.
Yeah.
If you do this course, this one takes you to this course. Good progress. But again, from a learner who is seated there and saying, I want to do this, or a parent who has already paid school fees, they need to be guided further on. If you do this one, these are the limitations. So what I'm saying, with this CBC, there are careers we are blocking completely for our kids. And we need to know those beforehand, to know that this one and this one is blocked. And there are careers we are opening, then which one are we opening? That is very important for
So
me.
top of mind, what do you think that, you have already said that we are overselling the STEM.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because of the government's agenda when it comes to the fourth industrial revolution that is all going to be tech, science and math, actually, as you speak.
Sure.
But from where you sit, what other options are there? Let's talk about those other options that we're not talking about.
You know, we have science, we have STEM,
Yes.
which is one option.
Yes.
60% of the learners go there.
Yeah.
We have social sciences.
Sciences.
Again, social sciences, business people, social science. As much as we need machines, robotics, we need human beings who can be able to relate
run,
with people.
yes.
As we see today, the biggest issue facing many organizations is mental wellness. You understand it?
Yes.
Those mental wellness experts are not necessarily scientists.
Yes,
they are human people.
Yes.
So we need to look at these learners as individuals and see what is their potential as a learner.
As a learner.
Don't look at them as percentages. That the government has said STEM 60 all what. Look at a learner as this learner number one, number two, this living stone. What can he become? Yeah, that would be the most important thing for me.
So we think we move away from the macro thinking of macroeconomics to determine, you know, what we're going to learn in our institutions and actually look at the situation on ground. I'm looking at where we find ourselves. We've talked about food security and climate change as one of the challenges that we're facing, not just as a country, but also as a globe.
Sure,
Are we looking at emerging issues when we're placing these children, or rather picking their career paths?
You see, parents may have limited knowledge of these issues coming up.
Yes.
Me and you sitting here know healthcare is a big issue,
Yes.
so there'll be a lot of professionals required there. Climate change, we have agriculture, we have transport and logistics. Those are major industries which are going to employ people. But then this information may not be available to each and every learner, each and every parent. So what I'll ask even schools to do as we sit here, learners are already in school. The baby's already born.
Yes.
We have already bought clothes.
Yes.
We are shopping. Tomorrow we are going to name them. What we need to do now is to look at these learners and even organize career fairs within schools.
Yes.
Invite professionals where these young people wish to be. I want to become a journalist. Just get someone who can come and show them, what is this journalism? Most of them have never come to this media house, probably, and they see you on TV and say, I want to become a journalist. Probably to understand, what does it require for you to be there?
So career fairs.
Career fairs are very important. And again, capacity building within the Office of Career Services to see how do we support them.
How do we support them?
Yes.
Now, there's also a bracket. Those who are transitioning probably in the next 2 years to universities under the 844 system that we're phasing out. In my field as a parent, and that is a demographic that is slowly almost getting forgotten as we are focusing on CBC.
Actually, very true. Results were announced the other day.
Yes.
But we are not mentioning about this KCSE.
Yeah.
Equally a good number.
Yeah.
Almost 1 million.
Yes.
That's a huge population.
Yes.
So this issue of career, some of the few things we mostly take for granted. I usually call it the chemistry mentality, where I have a pain, I go to the chemist and buy painkillers. But we need to go back and ask ourselves, why am I buying this painkiller? What am I curing? Is it because I never slept? What could be causing the headache? So we are pushing learners to this specialization before even being able to understand what is the potential of this learner. Scientifically, we can, to some extent, determine which career someone can succeed. And as a certified career analyst, you look at the personality of a learner, which really changes, their career interest, their career motivators, skills and abilities. For me, if a learner gets an approaching expectation, even 3, that learner is fit for a given career. So we are overlooking at the bigger goal, the way we focus on first classes, even some of us who never scored them.
Yes.
We just focus on A-planes and forget that learner who scored a D+, and asking, what can this learner be?
Yeah.
So that capacity building, career counseling, and coaching is very important.
What I hear from you, Makori, is that there's room for everyone.
Yes.
And everyone cannot be like everyone else. We are all individuals. But then how do we mold our children towards that path? Now, looking forward in our universities, and also some of the reports that have been made public by the Ministry of Education, is that we have seen a transition, or rather a paradigm shift to technical and vocational training, where we were pushing our children to college and universities. Now we're telling them, let's go to the TVETs.
Yeah.
Is it because that is what the market structure wants? Or is it because, I mean, what are the factors? You know, there are those who have said we have half-baked university graduates. I do not agree with that statement, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the paradigm shift that we're seeing. Now that we're talking about this transition to CBC, and we also have those who are completing the 844 system.
Sure.
How do we take care of what the market wants vis-a-vis those who we are churning out?
Yeah, good. The Inter-University Council of East Africa did a research in 2010, and nothing much has changed. In the whole of East Africa, they realized that 51% of the youth are not ready for the job market.
Yes.
Some research have shown that learners take a minimum of 6 years to get into a stable employment. This speaks to skills.
Yes.
We are moving to a skills-based economy.
Yes.
We are focused on the degrees and certificates where the world has moved to skills. We are asking ourselves, for a worker to work, what do they need? I can tell you, if you come here today, nobody remembers which grade you did. The question is, can you do it?
Can you deliver?
Can you deliver?
Yes.
So that delivery is what makes someone employable.
But someone would argue and say, Mr. Makori, for me to get here, I have to get through the gate. I have to go through the human resource. I have to have the requisite paperwork that gives me an opportunity to actually sit here and them to test my skills.
Actually, I want everyone to succeed and pass.
Yes.
But that's not the main requirement. A certificate is not the only thing.
All right.
There are skills you need. Are you adaptable? Do you understand technology? Are you understanding where the world is moving to? Some few days ago, for those of us who are maybe in marketing, we never used to have social media. And social media has come and created opportunities.
Yes.
Whereas someone is sitting there and saying, my child is wasting time on TikTok, there's someone making money from that TikTok. So the way we sell, the way we produce, the way we work is done has changed completely.
Yes.
In the future of work, few things have changed. How work is being done. Who does the job? And finally, now we are moving away from permanent and pensionable roles to contract and gig employees. So those are the things parents need to understand, that yes, my child needs, if possible, score this A-plane.
Yes.
But if they can't score A-plane, how do we support them with the skills they have?
That's a good question, Makori, and I want to throw it back at you. And now look at the results already out. We have seen that those who have not done so well.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. What advice would you give to this particular people and student who did their very best? They had the same expectations, but everyone is limited, or delimits or limits of each vary. They find themselves there, and then we have the stakeholders who are the parents. How do we encourage them? Because, I mean, not all can score an A.
Yeah. So for me, I want to congratulate every learner who did the exam, irrespective of the grade, including an E. At least you were able to go through a system.
You need to be very particular. You know, when you say E right now, E is the highest score in CBC.
Oh, E. Maybe a D.
E.
Let me say D.
Yes.
Whichever grade you scored, I want to encourage that learner. And then ask yourself, what do you do from today will matter who you become tomorrow? Because some of the skills now, that are required by the job market. Talk of IT, web development. They don't require that high level of learning. If you have interest, if you have skill, you could still succeed in that one. So what I'll ask those learners, just ask yourself, where do I start from here? Which career is right for me? And that's where there's the biggest problem, getting to determine which career is right for me. Because without determining that, a learner moves from this course, another this course, another this course. By the end of 3-4 years, they don't even know which course they have done. But if they have some clarity at the beginning, then they are able to move forward. So what do they need to do? If you have interest in a given career, you may not be able to afford career counselors. Some of them are expensive. But what you need to do is, can you get someone who does that role and even try to ask, how does it work? Mentorship, coaching. Again, throw it back to professionals. We have very many young people out here who don't know what they need to do. Can you organize a session and even talk to them? Just showing them the way. This is what is supposed to be done. This is how my work is done. Probably that gives a career clarity.
Is there an age limit that you'd recommend, you know, or advocate for one to actually undertake career coaching?
Career coaching is a lifelong process.
All right.
And from grade 5, a learner could be able to know their multiple intelligence. I'm math smart, I'm speech smart. Then look at which careers would require someone who is speech smart. Which careers would require someone who is logic smart. So if parents are able to determine at the earlier ages that this is what my child is strong at, then you are able to narrow down and show them these are some of the few careers they can be able to pursue. I met one of your colleagues here, and when he mentioned the name, I know someone, but he's old. That's my father. My father brought me here, and that's why I'm here.
Yes.
Because he introduced me early enough.
Yes.
I thought I need to use that example because if you compare, with all fairness, our Indian brothers and us, we do our things differently.
True.
Those Indian children from early ages, they know, what does my father do? How is the business being done? So that by the time I'm done with college, I have the right experience.
Yes.
So the government has introduced what is called community service learning, which I really appreciate, community service learning.
Yes.
And we have been supporting learners into that community service learning. It's high time organizations, professionals open room for these learners so that they can come to organization and even learn how work is being done.
Yes.
That's the only way we can be able to mentor people who are career aware, career ready, and are able to move in that career.
All right.
Yeah.
Very well said. That's a conversation we've been having tonight on Sunday Express. We've been engaging none other than Dr. Livingstone Makuri, who is a certified career analyst and life purpose coach. There is no age limit. From grade 5 onwards, you can actually ensure that your child gets that particular session with a career coach to understand their purpose ongoing. And even as they continue undertaking their education there, they would know what they want to be early on. And those who are already there, the question is, what can you do comfortably, the skills that you have, then you build on that. We take a quick breather. When we come back, we're going to be speaking matters tourism as well as sports. Do keep it right here.
Let go of me, you're disgusting.
I lost everything because of you.
But what made you say that?
Well, it's because if we were really friends as you are claiming us to be, then you would have trusted me enough to tell me about your father.
Well, forgive me, but I was feeling desperate then. My mother was threatening to take me away and separate me from Marcelo. And that's something that I can't allow, especially not now that I know that Lucia and Marcelo are getting married.
I understand that you feel hurt.
But if you think that he killed her, I guess you have enough evidence to prove it, right?
Let's say that considering how things are, the imprisonment order is going to be issued tomorrow. Unless something comes up to prove the boy is innocent.
Guys, woo! Woo! It is our Lagan Day. Yani bahati.
Hayati tena. Mimi naingia chooni, nimalize alafu nitoke.
Hapa lazima ukanje.
Sitalipa.
Enda.
Unaweza msaidie at least na ka loan pass.
I don't work with laws.
Toka uende.
We don't have to do this.
Marada mkae. Mbona unalipisha na hawa ni customer wetu wamekuja pale kula na lazima waende haja? Bishaje Ramos. Ushalipisha choo hapa kweli?
Hapana. Sasa unasikia mamoka.
Nyinyi wafanyikazi mutanitia pressure.
Bwana
Welcome back. So before we speak matters sports, let's bring you up to speed with matters making headlines now focusing on tourism. Is that the tourism calendar in Baringa County may be about to change after millions of flamingos delayed their migration from Lake Bogoria. The birds, which normally leave the lake by November, are still around well into the new year. A rare sight, experts that are now calling, or rather linking, to climate change.
Lake Bogoria, one of Kenya's top tourist attractions, has turned pink as millions of flamingos linger at the alkaline lake. The birds, which usually arrive mid-year and leave by November to breed in Tanzania's Lake Natron, arrived late last year and have stayed into January, a rare trend experts link to climate change.
We have around 373 species of birds, and between September and March, that is when we have a lot of migrants around. And November is when we have a lot of pink flamingos around. And the estimates at the moment, I can say maybe around 400,000.
Home to one of the world's largest flamingo populations, the extended stay is drawing visitors beyond the traditional peak season. County leaders say the birds' presence offers a boost for tourism, even as water levels rise.
The phenomenon of migration equalize the migration of wildebeests in the Mara, because they come in numbers, and I want to urge the citizens of Kenya and all the tourists to come and see.
The Baringo County government says it's working with partners to address the land degradation, a major factor behind rising lake levels.
We're trying to work together with partners, including the European Union, to see if we could manage the land degradation and the challenges that are arising from climate change, so that we can minimize the flooding in those lakes.
Tourism officials now expect visitor numbers outside the usual May to July peak as climate shifts reshape both flamingo migration and the county's tourism calendar. Maria Ambo reporting for Sunday Express.
3 suspects linked to cattle theft in Yakwai village, Bureti sub-county in Kericho, have been lynched by members of the public. During the dawn incident, a lorry is said to have been ferrying those cows out of the suspect's homestead was set ablaze, a house under construction was demolished, and 2 other houses at the compound were burnt down. With the 2 of the suspects managing to escape, a manhunt has been launched, with residents now being urged to be wary of suspicious individuals.
This lorry, said to have been ferrying the cattle theft suspects, came on the receiving end of public outrage after they set it ablaze in a fit of rage. Irate residents then descended on this homestead allegedly belonging to these suspects, destroying a house under construction and setting 2 others on fire. The 2 suspects and their getaway driver met their demise after the Yakwai village residents lynched them. The irate residents decrying rampant cattle theft in the recent past that have led them to count losses.
Hata mimi ng'ombe yangu ilipotea, tumeng'ang'ana tukitafuta, hatujui ni nani anachukua, na hii ng'ombe inaenda wapi. Hiyo ng'ombe watu wanachukua, sio ng'ombe ya bei ndogo. Hiyo ng'ombe inaanza na 200,000. Hakuna ng'ombe chini ya 200,000.
With other dairy farmers left servicing loans following the losses, our authorities in the area are being accused of sleeping on the job.
Jana wakati tulikuwa kwa mkutano, mimi nikaraise issue, nikaambiwa wewe ni mlevi. Haki ya Mungu sijaelewa.
Tuko na maaskari wengi wanalewa. Hata wanalewa hatarani. Sasa hatujui kama waliletwa walewa ama hatujungwe mali.
Residents who had raised the alarm on suspicious activities in the homestead are now breathing a sigh of relief, even as they call on our authorities to step up the war against criminals who make their lives difficult. Isufar reporting for Sunday Express.
From Kericho back to Nairobi, where members of the South Sea business community in Nairobi, whose businesses were affected by the collapse of a building early this month, are counting losses running up to 70 million shillings. Addressing the media as they embarked on a cleanup exercise to remove the debris from their marketplace, the business community, led by their chairman, Dr. Rashid Ali Omar, appealed for support from the government to all the affected families. They further dismissed reports that 85% of the buildings in Nairobi are unsafe for occupation.
The business community in Nairobi South Sea have not been in business since the incident happened on the 2nd of this month. Roads have been closed in this section of the city for the past 7 days. Businesses have suffered great losses. This is South Sea Shopping Center. It's a key shopping center for the community that lives and resides in South Sea. But we're happy to report today that majority of the debris has been cleared, the roads have opened, business and life has resumed to normalcy.
Led by their chairman, Dr. Rashid Ali Omar, the business people are decrying what they term as the destruction of their business premises and looting of their goods following the unfortunate incident.
To our association members who suffered immense losses, be it through theft, business closure, and the blocked roads, we stand together as we look for ways to compensate.
I heard on 2nd in the morning, building was collapsed, and I got a big damage in my shop.
That morning we get calling 6:30, then we run away, but it's already messed up everything. We can't go inside we go inside after 3 days, then we'll see it's already things are stolen.
They estimate the losses they incurred to be between 60 and 70 million shillings.
As you can see, this is the main business center in South Sea. We have banks, we have butcheries, we have shopping supermarkets. And from what we can see, maybe they've lost almost amounting to 60 to 70 million in that 1 week, including the banks, those road closures. And hotels, they've suffered a lot.
They are now calling on the government to support all the affected families and business people.
If it continues like this, we lose more customers and businesses. To get them back is going to be very difficult. So we are urging the county government and the Nairobi County to come in and at least clear the shopping center for us, repair the damages, the sewages, and so we can continue with our businesses very well.
While dismissing the reports that 85% of the buildings in the city are unsafe for occupation, the business people call for transparent approval processes in the construction sector.
Regulatory authorities must enforce the law without fear or favor, and the communities must speak up when they observe risks. Accountability at every level is non-negotiable.
This as the demolition exercise of the nearby building continues. Meanwhile, the construction site where a building caved in, killing 2 people and injuring 7 on Saturday, has remained deserted with no activity going on. The incident has been attributed to poor workmanship and inadequate construction support systems. Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Elections to pick new officials of the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education teachers brought to an end 24 years of service for Executive Secretary Musembi Katuku. Immediate Vice Secretary Yvonne Mutindi clinched the Executive Secretary position, becoming the first woman to lead a top corporate position in the country. Elsewhere, confusion and delays marred similar elections for corporate officials in Kiambu County, despite the exercise attracting a huge turnout of teachers.
Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers CUPET's elections in Machakos were historic as Yvonne Mutindi became the first woman to win the Executive Secretary position after defeating Musembi Katuku, who held the position for the last 24 years. Yvonne, who garnered 2,128 votes against Gatuku's 958 votes, pledged to fight for better pay for teachers, defend teachers' rights, and push for full autonomy of junior secondary school teachers.
My dear colleagues and friends, today I'm overwhelmed, not by the victory, but by immense love with which you carried me to the finish line. This journey was not for the faint-hearted.
Similar enthusiasm was witnessed in Homa Bay County, where hundreds of teachers turned up early in the morning to participate in the ongoing Kuppet elections. Teachers described the process as peaceful, orderly and transparent, with voting beginning at exactly 6 a.m.
It is my wish and my desire that we have the best leader. And because of that, I came here in person to ensure that I choose the person I think will give us the right direction.
The election has been fair as compared to last election. It is free and fair, and the security is okay. It is going on well.
But since we came here, the process has been very peaceful. Because teachers are very organized. So everything is peaceful, and we hope that the current leadership that are going to elect today are going to be people who are agitating for the rights of teachers.
In Kiambu County, however, the exercise was marred by confusion and delays. The elections, which were expected to begin at 7:30 a.m. as per an earlier circular, instead kicked off at around 11 a.m., putting the organizers on the spot.
The election started around 11. Then that made teachers to start getting agitated. And then that's why we are having long queues at this moment.
If they have started earlier, this could not be the case. We could be done, we could be counting right now and going home. But the teachers are here from as early as 7 a.m. up to this particular point.
You can see right now it is a bit late, but the voters are still queuing. They haven't had the chance to vote because there were chaos in between the election.
In Kericho County, Anne Cheriot retained her seat as Kericho Branch NAT Executive Secretary in a hotly contested election held at Kericho Teachers Training College. Cheriot got 904 votes, beating her close competitor David Rono, while Noah Cheriot won the branch chairmanship with 862 votes.
You are leading one! We are here for you! I want to thank the national office. The election was very credible.
We have finished with the elections, and it's like every other position was being had a kind of competition. Remember, it's only the other day that we are actually asking the government to think about the kind of promotion that is giving to our teachers.
Kericho was among the first 12 branches to conduct elections, which also included Siaya, Kipkelion, Bureti, Nyeri, Kiambu East, Mombasa, and Kilindini. Jacqueline Masharia for Sunday Express.
Now we focus on to sports, and you can see from the other side of studio, Wahome is already on standby to bring you up to speed. Take it away, Wahome.
Thank you very much, Regina. And after 2 great weeks of tennis, Kenya's tennis star Angela Okutoi continued with her impressive rise on the international stage by clinching the ITF World Tennis W35 Nairobi Round 2 singles title with an impressive straight sets victory over Italy's Martina Colmegna. Daniel Mwendwa has a story.
Against all odds, Angela Okutoi once again proved her class, edging out Italy's Martina Colmegna in a thrilling W35 singles final. The match was a repeat of last week's round 1 singles final, but Okutoi showed no signs of nerves as she took near control. Displaying confidence and sharp shot making, the Kenyan dominated the opening set, claiming it 6-3. Colmegna returned with renewed energy in the second set, pushing Okutoi into a tightly contested battle. The Italian matched her shot for shot, forcing a tense tie break. but Okutoi held a nerve, narrowly taking the second set 7-6 to seal the match and secure the overall title.
My ranking is gonna shoot, and that's been my goal ever since, to break top 400. So hopefully after this event, my ranking is gonna crack top 400 or even more. So yeah, I can't wait. Well, the attributes that I've taken is to always believe in myself and know that you're capable of doing anything, and just trusting in my game and just being mentally strong.
Angela is a very good player here, so it's very difficult to beat her here. I tried my best, and I'm anyway happy about my match.
The victory marks another major milestone for the rising Kenyan star as she continues to build momentum on the international circuit. Following the win, Okutoi now shifts her focus to other international competitions as she looks to improve her world ranking and strengthen her chances of qualifying for the Olympic Games. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
NFC Leopards remained in total control of the FKF Premier League after thrashing Tusker FC by 4-0 at the Manyara National Stadium to open a 3-point gap at the top of the table. With rivals Gor Mahia having been held to a goalless draw earlier by Shabana, Leopards led 2-0 at halftime thanks to a Samuel Senyonjo brace before Ronald Sichenje and Senyonjo under the third and fourth respectively to seal the win. Leopards are now leading on 30 points, 3 above Gor Mahia, who have 2 games in hand. In other matches played, Ulinzi Stars came from behind to draw 1-0 with Nairobi United, as Posta Rangers also drew 1-0 with Kariobangi Sharks.
Anyanyua kichwa Samuel Senyonjo. Oh! No doubt! Morrison Blackstone. Felix Oluochimbo amepenyeza kwa Samuel Kapin. Michira Migire. Oka Chupu. Meshika kichwa Peter.
Egypt, Senegal, Nigeria and host Morocco are the 4 remaining sides that will contest the Africa Cup Nations title, with the semi-final matches set to be played on Wednesday. Egypt will face Senegal in the first semi in Tangier before Nigeria play host Morocco in the second semi in Rabat. Actually, the correct fixture is Senegal, Morocco and Nigeria against Egypt. Egypt and Nigeria booked their last 4 slots after ousting defending champions Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria, respectively, in the quarterfinals last night.
Time for Giants to perform, to produce the goods out here in Agadir. It's time for the 4th quarterfinal of this Total Energies African Cup of Nations.
Mohamed Salah was once again on the score sheet as Egypt beat holders Ivory Coast 3-2 in an action-packed quarter-final match of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Agadir.
Has done the unbelievable! The Pharaohs! Ben in, there's the delivery coming into the penalty box. He's going to get on the end of it. Oh, it's a great goal! It's absolutely classy from that man, Rabia. Diomande, front post, flick, it's in! They've got their goal! They've got their goal! They're trying to tame a wizard, which is not that easy. Imam Ashur, he has broken loose here. There's a good ball into the penalty box. Look at that! Unbelievable! Ahmad Diallo, there it is. Far post, the Damanana! Is it going to be line? Yes, it has! The goal has been scored! Do it!
Victor Osimhen and Akor Adams were on target as Nigeria advanced to the semi-finals of the continental tournament with a comfortable 2-0 win over Algeria.
Algeria doesn't make for him. That's a great ball! Whoa! Cometh the moment, cometh the big man! Victor Osimhen leaps high and not home to give Nigeria the breakthrough, finally! That's another good ball. There's Osimhen now, looks to set it up. Surely Adams now will walk it into the net. A thing of absolute beauty. Fly, Super Eagles, fly!
The semi-finals will be played on Wednesday and the final on Sunday, a day after the third place playoff.
That's the sport for tonight. My name is Daniel Ohome. Catch you tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. on Sports Check. You all wanted to find out what David Muñoz feels about being in the UK. Alongside his dad's twin brother, his name is Peter Washuri. Well, they'll be here at 10 a.m. and also we'll be talking about the AFCON Utiras Wayaki and also a big sporting conference about the direction Africa should take, and that's happening on the sidelines of the Africa Cup of Nations. Bright and early, 10 a.m. on Sports Check. My name is Daniel Ohome. Over to you, Regina.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to that conversation with the darts master, so to speak. So you can bet I'll be tuning in. And now we bring this Sunday Express to a close. Be sure to interact with our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke, for further details. Have a pleasant week ahead. I'm Regina Manyara.
Imekamilika. 2026 tunaingia na matarajio mema ya kumiliki shamba, nyumba, magari na zawadi zingine nyingi kupitia usaidizi na kucheza kwako. Familia yote ya Tushinde tunawatakia kila laheri, na mwaka huu uwe mwaka wako wa baraka, bahati, afya njema na mafanikio. Happy New Year.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time.